and welcome everybody out there in Twitch and D&D land. I hope you're all having a fantastic time out there. Before we jump into the action, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy this content. If you're interested in watching us live, you can see us over at twitch.tv/ProdiumJoey. And lastly, if you are interested in hanging out with us and playing in any of our games, then you should check out our Patreon. Link is in the description below. We have open slots available, including inside of this game. We actually have three open slots in this game. So if you want to play a horror-themed campaign based out of the Astral, then this is the right place for you. But anyways, let's jump into the action. Hi, players. Go ahead, Wind. Tell us what happened last session.
Last session began as we were on our way to the Menagerie Coast, and in our sleep had found ourselves in a strange area where we were floating, and we were unable to control our bodies properly, movement, speaking, anything. And after a long time, we floated towards a house of which reeked of illusion and conjuration magic. And as we entered, anyone who entered after anyone else would have noticed that anyone before them they were unable to see. And we heard childlike laughter coming up from upstairs as we entered. And as we... Yeah. And as we got up there, it asked us if we wanted to play. And... well, we tried to speak with the child, but it spoke of its father, which would be mad if he continued playing inside that room. And sure enough, it floated up through the walls, and someone entered the house. We all quickly hid, and he threw the table as Wave Stripes was trying to hide under it. Perfect stealth roll, I promise. Yelling for a number 3. And after a little bit of investigating, we noticed that there were 6 subjects forced into experimentations to make them smarter. We assume that 3 is the one that we interacted with. The left side of the man's face that through the table had intense burns and boils and seemed to be a half-elf. Eventually, a human dressed in casual business attire told the child that he'd play before the father came back. And after some more illusory stuff, we attempted to escape through the window. Wave Stripes falling due to some mistakes that were made, died, and now has a phobia of falling. After which, we found a hedge maze, of which we decided to enter. The child and the man had both ran into it, and we decided to, I believe, follow the man. And we saw a conversation inside a greenhouse between the 2 men. And afterward...
well, you skipped the one part where the child practiced magic.
Right. We saw the child practicing a spell, of which caused huge fiery eruptions from exploding the area we were in. And that prompted us to head the other way, towards the greenhouse. And this is where we learned the 2 men were actually in league together, there was the men, the father, and the boss. And...
no, there's only the 2. The father, the boss.
yeah, that's what I was talking about, the father, the boss.
Oh, I thought you said the man, the father, the boss. Continue,
Yeah, sorry, I meant like the man who is the father and the boss.
That's just how my ear holes worked. You're good.
Eventually, it basically came about that they were trying to get the child to take them out to the astral plane. And, well, that's when the child came up behind us. And I mean the real child, not the illusory child. He said that this was when he found out he was just being used, and upon a horrible attempt at trying to convince him to let us help him get all of us out of here, he did something with the earth that caused it to crack open and bring us towards a prison. And that's where we left off.
Well, there was a little bit more that happened in the prison. You did see some of the other subjects down there stuck inside of their cells, and the three of you were separated into 3 separate cells as well, leaving you with this smoky bars that you can't pass physically through. As you kind of connected with them, they became more solid, and you were stuck there. There was one individual in one of the cells who had seemed to have broken their psyche and was drawing squares repetitively in the ground, chanting, "All these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle." And the child discerned that that's actually him saying, Yeah, that's fine. Anyways, as he was doing this, the child did iterate, he's actually talking about a concept of magical script. And that is where we last left off. So, the 3 of you are now inside of the bars, stuck there. What would you like to do?
Well, after the bed, I do believe last week would have helped to get us out if my internet had been cooperative. I'm going to use Minor Illusion to create the image of a summoning circle.
Alrighty. You successfully create, or roll me an Arcana check. Wow, it turns out you do know what summoning circles technically look like. And as you create this illusion of it, it shows on the floor beneath you.
I wonder if this was number 3, so... Well... I think I'll try to fill in the circle that was on the floor to match the illusion, or whatever the circle is made to look like last.
Alright. You look over at what the crazed individual is doing, and you create that same system of squares with your minor illusion over and over and over, until eventually it creates this 8-sided object, or 12-sided object, and the circle begins glowing slightly.
Okay. Might have the circle working right. Which means I either need to put in more power or focus on what it is I'm trying to summon. Oh, Brave, Dominik, you two doing anything that I think?
Do I still have the items I took in my possession?
The ones you stole from the estate?
Yes.
Yes, you do.
I would say acquired from the estate.
Sure.
This is a hell of a long shot. I'm gonna take the doorknob, put it on one of the ghostly bars towards like where a doorknob would be, and just turn it and see if I can crazy like open it.
Okay. It doesn't seem to latch onto anything, unfortunately.
Alright. I'm guessing the bars are close enough where I can't just like shimmy out of them, right?
That is correct. You would have to be a lot smaller to do that. And nobody in your party is small. Because
I
no
knew I
one
should
wanted
have
to play a halfling.
I knew I should have played a kobold.
That is a good second. Yeah. Sorry, anybody watching. I love the small races of D&D other than the monstrosity known as gnomes. Continue. So, Law, what do you attempt to do with this circle that you have drawn?
Well, the surrounding area is mostly earth, correct? Aside from bars.
Stone.
I was originally thinking something like a giant badger to help burrow our way out. I don't think they can bury through stone, though.
Okay. What spells do you have, Law? I'm just going to look at your page.
Yeah.
Okay. You begin trying to call forth a badger. And you hear a voice, wispy, subtle. Are you looking for any assistance?
Well, indeed I am. One of two things either will work.
Well, I could help, but I need to attach myself to your essence in order to do so.
See a number of ways that would help long term or hurt long term. Exactly what sort of attachment would this entail?
Just a small dealing with one another. You know, I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
Oh. Yeah, that could work out. Out of character. I bet for both that I have a 6 in wisdom.
I messaged you on Roll20, Law.
Yep, I see that.
Okay.
Alright.
Alrighty.
We'll see
Then
how this works out.
So you agree?
Yes, I do.
A chain filters out from that circle and begins wrapping around your arm. And at the very end of the chain, you watch as this creepy, purple, bug-looking entity with wings crawls its way out the body boils and it turns into, what were you trying to make?
Badger.
It turns into a badger. And then that chain that it held that connects to your wrist disappears. Next level, you will be taking Warlock.
Alright. High wisdom, high intelligence, low wisdom, people.
I mean, it's
Come
fitting,
on.
father and son and all.
Yeah, come on. It's story, that's all. What's the worst that could happen?
Hold up. I feel like I should feel insulted for that.
But do you?
It's Jeff, so it could be either way.
Alrighty. You all see that Law has this badger crawl over towards him and then look around. The badger looks at your circle and scratches it a couple of times. And then it'll move over towards the bars and slap against it a couple of more times. And it'll speak into your mind. Oh, you're stuck inside of the astral. Curious. Did you have no intentions of coming here?
You are not planning going to the astral. A few more things I'd like to learn about this town or tower before you leave, but finding our way back is the long-term goal.
Well, I can tell you a couple of things, but only a couple. One, where you stand is on a wisp of a dream. These are moving contraptions that came out of the field of dreams. A location here. Anything created inside of the field or a wisp becomes reality. Though, sometimes things don't act the way you would want them to. But for an Arcanist, this is a fantastic opportunity. Whatever you create becomes reality. Just be sure it's not something that can fight back. It then crawls over to your arm and just sits on your shoulder.
Alright. Thank you for the assistance, and suppose is there a name you would like to go by?
Not yet. Let's see if you can figure your way out of here first before I invest any more into you. And then it kind of just disappears from sight.
How much of that interact? We didn't. I know we didn't hear him talking to him. Did we see this thing come out of the ground?
Oh yeah, you saw it come out of that magical circle. You saw the chain that disappeared, and you saw the interaction, but you didn't hear any of it. It was all telepathically communicated. Because animals can do that when you summon them yourself. Or animals can do that when you summon them yourself.
Law, you got a new friend?
Potentially. Mostly depends on if they're able to get out of here. Speaking of Rex, he did give me a number of ideas. So, looking over these shadowy bars, is there any swear that looks like it would hold a key?
Roll me an investigation. Please.
Wow.
Yeah, no, there's no spot on your side that looks like it would hold a key. Darmok, with your passive, though, as he's looking, with bars, typically the key doesn't go all the way through. It's on the other side, so he just kind of didn't notice.
The outside of the door, not the inside.
Correct.
Oh.
I love low wisdom characters so much.
That would make more sense, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Suppose this time I try to look on the other side of the bars. That would probably be a disadvantage, though, because I can't really fit my head through.
Yes. Actually, it would be impossible. You could feel around and... Oh, hey, there it is.
Yeah, 3 inches shorter. Yep, there you go. To the left a little bit.
Hey, there it is. There's the keyhole. There's one right there.
All right. This time, I will be making illusory skeleton key. Good lord, this makes me remember playing Rorik.
Curious. Does Law know what a skeleton key is? Tell me somewhere in your backstory where you discovered such a thing. Or became aware of their existence. Paint me a picture. And you can just bullshit this.
Alright. Let's see. Classical problem. A lock with no key. It was never meant to be opened. It was meant to keep something inside. That something that's meant to be kept on the other side, you need to access. A lock with no key. You need a key meant for any lock. Thus the concept of a key for all locks.
And you learned that back at the Academy, Locksmiths 101. And concepts of knock.
Yep. If I get the knock spell, it's not going to be... I mean, I'm still going to keep the correct components, but it's not going to be so much knocking as a very loud key for everything.
Click. So, you summon into your hand, with minor illusion, a key that can fit any lock. Or, conceptually, should be capable of it. Give me a sleight of hand check. $14. You find it and click. The bars in front of you all disappear.
Alright. I'll open up the cages for my companions, and we'll look for a different way out.
Alrighty.
Do you think we should let should we let number 6 out?
I somehow feel like that would only anger, Charleston.
Eventually, do believe he would want them to find their own way out, assuming they're even capable at this point.
Okay.
So, as you all begin walking, you have to walk past number 6 to get to a hallway that you have not seen yet. Your section of the room ended abruptly at Wave's End. And then you see number 6's head begins turning, or the individual in cell 6. There's an iron bar sitting across the eyes that look to be bolted into the head.
Ow.
The mouth opens and you see it is lacking a tongue. And it starts to move over, but the fingers on the hand don't seem to detach from one another.
I think he... I don't know. This is really creepy.
Fused fingers, no wonder he can't make a proper circle.
He moves over towards the bars, and unlike the other individuals in the cells, he looks real. No whisks sitting on his shoulders, just physically present, not just a memory.
Does he look like an aged person? Like, does he look older, or does he look like a
very
child?
old human. Very old human.
So does he look like an older version of the boss or the dad?
Roll me a nature check.
Oh, shit. God.
Would I also be allowed to make that roll?
Sure. I mean, Darmok, yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. Humans are humans, 14. You move over towards the bars and you try to imagine him without this long, scraggly beard. And he looks like the boss. Just 30, 40 years older than what you saw.
Dear Lord. This is the boss. Can you understand me?
Oh. Nods.
No. We don't need to talk to this guy. This guy's like the problem. He's the tormentor of the child. Yeah, of Charles.
Hold up. I want answers. I am going to get them. Are you incapable of, are you able to speak?
He has no tongue.
Right, I just had to ask, You never know, he might be hiding something.
He shows you no tongue.
Law,
but he doesn't point because his fingers don't detach.
Well, I have an idea. Give him an illusory tongue.
I mean, I'll certainly try. I'll need you to keep your mouth open for a while so I get the shape of the tongue right, so it attaches. Oh, alright.
He's actively shaking his head no, while trying to iterate something. Darmok, roll me a perception check.
Okay. 16.
You can't really translate what he's saying other than no. Blah, 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 blah. Please no. Blah, blah, blah.
God, I'm letting them do their thing. They want to do something, so I'm just going to keep lookout.
Alrighty. You go further down that hallway and you see that it expands for a period of time over into a room that looks like it probably shouldn't be here. The room appears to be some type of kitchen table, but it's just on the cusp of your vision. You can't really make anything else out.
I'm just going to keep my eye on that doorway in case somebody comes out, and just in the overall area too, but really on that opening.
So what are the two of you doing then?
Oh.
Well, it appears he doesn't want to tell me. I have an idea. You know how many letters are in the alphabet? Okay. How much time do we think we have exactly here? Looking at law.
Well, Charleston only appeared when we asked for him. I imagine he won't come unless we call for him again, so... Also, given the fact that we spent however long drifting out needing food, water, or not even seem to rage, I think we could potentially have unlimited time.
He begins tapping on the bars repeatedly. Do any of you have a working class or military background?
Does shipwright work or count?
Otis, if you're in chat, does the Navy teach you Morse code? If he says yes, or potentially yes, then I'll leave it up to you.
Is he in the chat?
He might be. It shows that he's here, but I don't know if he's available to answer or not.
I mean, I wouldn't exactly call it average working class, but Law was a former teacher.
That's
Well,
not...
He replied.
Yes, I see that. But, Wave, what were your responsibilities? As a shipwright, what were your responsibilities?
Give me 1 second.
He's looking up different forms of communication during fantasy settings.
No, I'm looking at, Yeah, so it looks like the shipwright is just there to repair the ship. So as far as actual communication go, I probably wouldn't have been in charge of that.
Unless you can give me a bullshit reason as to why.
There we go. Bullshit reason to know.
Yeah. Like what Law did. Create some portion of your backstory. An iteration where they had to teach you that and you had to learn it. Thank you for the education and history lesson, Otis. Really appreciate it. Everybody, thank Otis.
Thank you for the history lesson. I genuinely didn't know that. course, if need be, I can just loosen him with paper and pencil.
He
One
can't grip
time-
those.
Right.
One time when Wave's ship had beached, they had seen another ship off the coast, and they attempted to use Morse code using mirrors and a fire. And one of the other sailors had taught Wave at that point how to use Morse code, or how to read and write it, and all that. Well, you know what I mean. Understand.
Okay. So, as they begin tapping on the bars, they are expressing, "Help me. I've been here for years. I've lost track of time. I need to escape. Do not just illusion physical things. They can be inhabited by anything stuck in the wisp."
Are you saying that everything we manifest has something inside it?
They
Potentially.
can, if they were living things. So if you would have tried to make him a tongue, that tongue could be inhabited by anything in the wisp that is all around you right now.
What did you do to Charleston?
We tried to unlock his potential, to allow him to grow and become a master mage. We didn't want this all to happen. We tried to help him, but he was not old enough to understand that.
How were you several years older when Charleston is still a child?
Charleston can project himself however he wants. I think it has something to do with the power of this wisp. He controls it fully. He is a part of it now.
And
Well, this is the wisp of a dream, as I learned. If he's a dreamer and he's aware, then he can do whatever he wants here.
He is like a god in this landscape, limited only to imagination.
well, I do not want to suffer his wrath, as we all know how God's wraths are. And I'll relay all this to Law and Darmok if he's close enough to listen.
Darmok can usually hear you when you speak at a quiet tone. Please let me out. I can't cast. I can't return to my body. It has perished already. I just need freedom.
Do you want us to kill you?
No. I do not want to die. I want to study and learn more about this place. But I need to escape from here before I can do that.
Do we have your promise that you will not hurt anyone further?
Yes,
Can I roll an insight on that one?
sure. Disadvantage, though, because you're inciting finger tapping.
that's, that's
I don't know what it is. I've been wearing this cord binding on my pinky, and I think now I want to get myself a fucking pinky ring. Like, I don't know. It feels good. Yeah, that's probably what I'll get myself for my birthday. A pinky ring.
I've rolled a 22 and a 5.
It's kind of hard to read somebody tapping on bars with fingers. I mean, you can choose to believe him or not. Kind of difficult to read in this scenario.
Law, do you think that key would work on this man?
Well, it's a key for all locks. I don't see why it wouldn't work for a fourth.
Do you mind freeing him for me?
Very well. I'll do
Alright.
just that.
You bring your key over towards the front of the bars, and as they solidify, these bars have no keyhole. Charleston didn't want him to ever have a chance to leave.
Oof. Yep. Key for all locks can't open, there is no lock.
Oh, Charleston really didn't like you now, did he?
He's a child. He doesn't understand the reasons and justifications of adults.
I truly do believe he is much older than a child now.
Shakes his head. Older. Still a child. Because of the wisp.
Are you saying his growth has stunted?
How do you grow up when you don't have any example to look at and can only exist within your memory?
There's so much Law could say to that. He understood what was going on.
Yep, you just keep looking back at waves. You hear wave and then tap 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 tap. And this entire conversation has taken probably 10 minutes. If time was a relevant aspect in this verse.
What lesson is it that Charleston wants us to learn?
I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe context can help? He wasn't there. He has no idea.
Right.
He's been here.
Yeah. We offer to help him, well, to ally ourselves with him, to help all of us get out of here, but then I believe he thought he was lying, or we were lying, and cast us down here, telling us we were here until, well, we learned our lesson.
The same lesson he did, I believe, are his words.
Yes.
He wants you to learn the lesson he learned. We've taught him many lessons, all of which were arcane in nature.
Any life lessons?
No. I mean, I didn't. There was no reason to go over them. Maybe his father did.
And where is his father right now?
He died before we came here. There's a room connected to the study, hidden by illusion. It's the lesson room for Charleston. It's where all of his learning took place.
In other words, there would be our first stop to figure this out, then.
Perhaps. But please, let me out. I can help you.
What's in the basement of the house?
The basement is how we traveled here. A connecting point of our home to this realm.
And is that how we get back? By going back through there?
Perhaps.
All right then. La, how strong is your badger friend?
The badger raises an eyebrow at you.
I mean, can't really say. Don't know all that much about him yet.
Could you ask him for me? I assume that you can talk to him somehow, maybe? I don't know how this familiar, is that what it's called, thing works?
That could be one way. I don't think he's a familiar proper though. Same principle could still work though.
It licks its teeth.
How strong are you, little guy?
It raises its tiny paw and just...
Oh my god, you can understand me. You have a smart badger. It is clearly smarter than it is strong. That is a good thing.
I mean, going by what we've learned about this place, I made the image of a living thing. If you make the illusion of a living thing, then some of the wisps here can inhabit it.
Well, we could attempt
The
to
boss
destroy...
nods.
We could attempt to destroy the bars here. Of course, that would likely draw Charleston's attention. We could try to bend them, but I somehow feel like none of us are strong enough to.
I mean, there is Darmok.
Darmok, I believe Darmok already tried.
I'm gonna start heading that way when my name gets called.
Pop, pop, pop. You poke your head around the corner.
Do you think you can try to bend the bars to this man's cage?
Yeah, I can. What would you like me to roll?
Athletics.
DC probably like 30 million.
I mean, I could potentially give you a Never mind, I don't think advantage would help.
I'm not that kind of monk.
Something in your shoulder. That's not supposed to go that way. Oh no. Yeah, you have no chance of opening that bar.
I thought you were stronger than that, Darmok.
Just punch a lot.
Do you punch him?
No. Oh no, I'm not punching anybody.
Are you sure? Wave has a number of hit points.
Yeah.
Remaining.
By the way, how much HP do you guys have at the moment?
Hey, you don't know that.
Right. How injured do they look?
Here, let me bring them all onto the map and show you. There you go, that's law. I need to turn the sensitivity down on my mouse. I was playing games over here, and no, it doesn't need to be that sensitive.
Okay,
See,
so
all of you look fine.
I'm going
But
to
Darmok technically could almost one-shot you.
Yeah, I'm going to dump a healing light into myself. Let's see how much that heals me. Okay, and then I'll dump a healing light into Law. No matter what I roll, that's max. So.
Yep. So that is 2 of your 2 healing lights.
No, I used one on Law last time, so that would have been all 3 now.
Oh yeah, it's 2 plus 1. Yeah. So. Release me,
badger?
please. Did you try poking it?
No, I'm asking Law if that's a real badger. I ain't touching shit.
You're a lot wiser than Law is.
Just doorknobs and skulls.
Yeah. See, that's old stuff. This is new stuff. He just went on the ground and some freaking thing came up his arm. So, you know, I'm a little freaked out.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so.
No, he is not actually a badger. He's just occupying the image of one.
Oh, that's
The badger, like, nods its head at you as if to say sup.
Because badgers can dig
Strong claw.
through almost anything.
I mean,
Does your badger know how to destroy the bars or free this man?
It shrugs.
he's the one that gave me the idea for the key frame lock, but that won't help here. Since I could make something to destroy the bars, or at least widen the gap between them.
Why don't you just dig them out?
He is a lot more than a badger. I'd rather not risk asking him to do such mundane things until I know him better. Oh, hell,
The
I
badger
probably
crawls
shouldn't.
on top of your head now and, like, nuzzles between your horns.
At the very least, they seem affectionate if you treat them well. Then I'll go for just about any living creature. Potentially even undead, depending on their intelligence.
Please
But I will-
help me escape. Destroy the bars somehow. Or find a way.
Alright, you know what? I'm sick and tired of debating this. I am going to destroy them. I am totally... no, Eldritch Blast is going to be loud, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's force damage.
How loud is Guiding Bolts?
Less of a... more of a...
Fuck it. Guiding Bolt the bars.
Okay. The bars now shine with a divine glow and energy.
Alright, someone hit it hard.
Hit what with what?
The bar with anything. I'm not sure if the damage matters or not, but you know.
Darmok, literally, you're the only person with a weapon right now. Your fists.
Yeah, I don't
Or your
feel
feet.
Yeah. I still feel comfortable punching something here. It's everything seems a little dangerous.
I'll summon the image of a club and just hand it to you.
Are you proficient in clubs, Darmok?
Is it a simple weapon?
It is.
It would be.
Then you treat it like it's a strength-based weapon, not a monk weapon.
That's lovely. Alright, what do you want?
And yeah, that actually does work. When you minor illusion it, he gets it.
I think I just solved our supplies issues, if that even matters.
So go ahead, give me a swing, bada bada.
With advantage, because guiding.
Ah.
I need to add a club, I guess. Hold on, because
Could just do strength plus proficiency.
that's fine then.
The damage is a D4.
That's a
9.
9.
Roll again.
Yeah.
You have advantage.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I forgot about that. 15?
Ooh, that successfully hits the bar.
There's the D4.
Plus strength, so 4. Your club shatters against the bar. It's metal. You ain't breaking that with a fucking club.
Yeah. We try. I think we should go.
One time I'd really rather not.
Ting 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 ting. Wave, he is communicating. Create a door.
You know, I feel like some sort of deity got sick and tired of us trying to solve this puzzle through force.
Well, this guy's smart, so he'll,
and has decided to give this man an idea of a illusory door.
Alright. I make the door.
All right. There's now a door. Where do you put it?
As will be the center of the bars.
So, occupying the same space as the bars?
Yep.
Alrighty. As you attempt to do that, your magic is pushed off of the bars. And it sits on one of the two sides. Roll me a D2. On a 1, it's on his side. On a 2, it's on your side. His side. He reaches for the door and opens it into the bars.
Do the bars reach all the way to the ceiling, or is it like a cage?
Yeah. They reach up to the ceiling.
They attach the image of a lock to the bars.
You do. And it goes off of the bars themselves. Roll me an Arcana check, Law, to see if you understand what's happening. Your illusion magic cannot affect other pre-established illusion magic.
Can't slay an illusion on another one. I mean, potentially if we back up so they're back into the shadowy state, then I might be able to attach the illusion, but otherwise we'll have to make something to break the bars.
Law, I knew I gave you something worthwhile. Intelligence. Let's back away.
No, I don't think that came from you.
You all back up 3 feet or so, and it begins whisking, and the imprisoned boss backs up as well.
Okay, Let's see if the lock attaches this time.
You create a lock, and there is a hovering lock in that area. And as any of you approach, the other bars become solid with the lock still on them.
Alright. Omni key time.
Click, click, and the bar opens.
Oh, there we go.
The boss stumbles out holding onto the walls. As they are still mute, they still can't use their hands properly, and they're still blind. But they're free.
I'm just gonna put this out here. I think this is a bad idea.
Same
okay.
here. The player does, at least.
No, my character thinks it's a horrible idea. Me personally, I think it's a great idea, but
Fair enough.
Listen, Darmok, we need someone to guide us through the house, the illusions.
I understand. I'm just telling you how I feel. Let's go.
All right. And you all begin moving back down the hallway, entering towards where the kitchen rests. And I think that's where we're going to go ahead and go on break, everybody. Just as we're about to get to another good part. Don't worry, though. We will be right back. Just stay tuned.